Hey there guys, welcome back to a brand new video on my channel. In today's video I've got a Barcelona season preview, something I promised you guys last time I did a Chelsea season preview, and today I'm going to be reviewing or previewing my other favourite team for this season, Barcelona. So these are my two clubs of course, one from Spain, one from England. And honestly, I think we got a good season ahead. So what I'm going to be doing is going through the squad, going through the competitions we got coming up, going through the expectations for this season, and that's going to be coming up all in this video, so stay tuned. So guys, to start off, I'm actually going to be taking a look at the squad we've got coming up for this season. In my opinion, it's one of the best squads we've had in a while, actually. After last season's team was really disappointing. We've got rid of a lot of dead wood. The likes of De La Feo have gone, Dina's gone, Andre Gomez has gone, and Madelon has gone. All of those sorts of players, Alcacer, they're all gone. Some of them we've only managed to get rid of on loan, that's Douglas, Alcacer and Gomes, but they should all go at the end of their loan spell, which is what we've basically got our fingers crossed for. So yeah, really positive thinking at the moment from Barca. We've got rid of all of the dead wood and we've got a really good squad here, which I'm just going to run you guys through, starting off with the goalkeepers. Marc-Andre ter Stegen. People might call me biased, but I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world right now. I think what he's doing with Barcelona is incredible. The 5-year spell he's been at the club, he's now really at the top of his game in my opinion, and he's up there. He really is up there, guys. No one can argue with that. And honestly, I think he's pretty tipping it ahead of the likes of De Gea right now as the best goalkeeper in the world. I think we've got an incredible goalkeeper there who will be playing La Liga and Champions League for us this season. As a backup goalkeeper, we've got one of the best backups in the world, in my opinion, too, Jasper Citizen, who does complain a little bit, I'm not going to lie, on the substitutes bench. He does feel that we should be getting more first-team football, but with ter Stegen in front of him, it's very difficult. So he only manages to play the Copa del Rey games, which, honestly, is 5 to 7 matches every year. And although for the 2 years he's been at the club, he's won it, which is really good, of course. He hasn't always had it his own way, so I think Citizen would like to play more, but it's not really a possibility. In terms of third goalkeeper at Barcelona, we don't really have any. I know at Chelsea we got 4, really, including Bulka, but at Barcelona we don't really have a third goalkeeper. We had to bring in Joaquin Esquieta, I think his name is, into the goal the other week against Valladolid off the bench because Citizen was injured. So if there was to be a third goalkeeper this season, it would be him, but of course he is currently playing for the B team, so he wouldn't want to snatch them off him. In terms of defenders, we're going to be starting with the right back position. At the moment, Sergio Roberto is the main right back at the club with Nelson Semedo as the substitute to that. Many fans would disagree with that, many fans would like that. It's kind of a 50-50 split with the fans on who likes Sergio and who likes Semedo, but in my opinion, I feel as if we probably should be playing Semedo and then using Sergio Roberto as a midfielder. I just feel that that's the way it should be. I think Sergio Roberto has always been a midfielder as he's grown up, but recently, the last 3 or 4 years really, he's been playing a right back and all the managers have seemed to like him there. Luis Enrique loved him there. I know that Valverde really trusts him there, so that's just the way it is at the moment. It looks like he's the starting right back and Semedo's the sub left back, right back even, which I'm not sure how well that's going to go down with him and whether he will leave in the coming future. In terms of centre-backs, we've gone ahead and got 4 for this year. We've got Piqué and Umtiti, of course, as the starting centre-backs, which I believe is a really good partnership now. They've played together for about 3 years now, so they should be good together. And as the substitute centre-backs, we've actually got Longley, the new signing from Sevilla, Clement Longley, the France international, and Thomas Vermaelen, who we've decided to keep instead of Yerry Mina. Controversial, I feel. I feel as if we probably should have kept Mina over him, and then we would have had 2 right-footed centre-backs and 2 left-footed centre-backs, which in my opinion just works much better. But we've got Vermaelen and we've got Longley there as the backup, and Vermaelen has done really well for us in the past, not going to lie. He has done really well in real life. And if I'm being honest, I'm not too disappointed that he stayed at the club. He's really experienced. Whenever he comes in for Barca, he does really well. I remember he played at the Bernabeu last year and kept a clean sheet. I pretty much dealt with the likes of Ronaldo, Benzema, Bale, Asensio, Isco, all really easily actually. So I'm really happy with Vermaelen. And yeah, Vermaelen and Longley, the backup to Piqué and Umtiti this season. I think that's a good 4 centre-backs we got there. Moving on to left back, this is actually a really interesting one. What isn't interesting is the fact that Jordi Alba is still there, of course. He's been a starting left back for about 6-7 years now, really. He's had really building himself a legacy at this club, building a great partnership with the forwards. He's always done the left-hand side. We wouldn't want anyone different there. But of course, he hasn't been picked for the national team, which is really interesting in my opinion. They've elected to go with Marcos Alonso over him, which is interesting. It really is. I'm not sure how I feel about that. But anyway, we've got Jordi Alba at the club. I feel as if that's perfect for us with the way we play. So he'll be bombing down the left. And then in the left-back substitute spot, now that we've sold Luca Digne, we've got Juan Miranda, who is a player from the B team, who has been promoted to our team as a substitute. He's not officially in our team. If you go on the club's website, he's not in the squad. But if Alaba wants to get an issue, he'd come straight in. At the moment, we're letting him play with the B team, of course, because we don't want him just sitting on the reserves bit week in, week out. But he trains with the first team regularly, and he really is integrated into the full squad now. He had a good pre-season, and yeah, Miranda is in the first team, basically. He's the sub left back this season. In the actual club that we've got here in FC Barcelona, not Barcelona B, we've only got one left back this season, but if anything would happen to Alba, or if we needed a left back, then Miranda would of course step in there. He's the substitute left back for this season, which is actually really, really interesting, using the B team way more. Stepping into midfield, of course, we're going to have an absolute array of midfielders here. This season we're starting off with Busquets, Rakitic and Coutinho in there, which is actually an interesting three, which I think is working quite nicely this season actually with the balance. But moving on, guys, we've got the likes of Denis Suarez, we've got Arthur Melo, the new signing. Who else have we got here? We've got Rafinha, who hasn't gone, so he can either play in centre mid or on the wing. We got Sergi Sampo's also staying in the club this season, in my opinion, the ideal replacement for Busquets. Arturo Vidal's come in, Sergi Roberto can also play in midfield if we want him to, and of course the youngster Carles Alenya, who's decided to stay with the club this season, and he's going to be the number 26 for us. He's not going to be taking part in the B team, unlike the likes of Miranda and Ricky Puig, who's another youngster that we've actually got here. And he's actually currently in the first team and the second team. It's an identical situation to Miranda, so if we need him, we can easily put him into the first team if we want, but for now, he's going to be getting good game time at Barca B, basically. But those are just the likes of midfielders we got there, so as I mentioned, Busquets, Rakitic and Coutinho are going to be starting, but we've got Vidal to come in, you know, Samper can come in, Rafinha, Denis Suarez, Arthur Melo. We've got a brilliant squad this season. I feel more depth than ever. I mean, a couple of years ago we were bringing the likes of Gomes, Turan, not good enough. This year we got better players who know the Barca DNA. Denis and Rafinha, I'm so happy we've kept them. They're the best of the little bunch that we've got in there. And Arthur Melo, of course, we know all about him. He's had a brilliant start to his Barca career. Arturo Vidal, everyone knows about Vidal, so I'm really expecting big things from him, especially in the big games this season. So yeah, Vidal I think is a really good addition too. In my opinion, our midfield is looking really, really good. I feel as if ever since Xavi and Iniesta have sort of started to die down, our midfield has really been lacking, but I feel as if we got it back up to where it needs to be, with some really, really good backup in those areas, and I'm looking forward to seeing the midfield play this season. Moving on to the attack, again we've got an absolute array of options here. We're starting with the front three of Messi, Suarez and Dembele so far, which I'm really enjoying seeing Dembele get 90 minutes week in, week out. It's absolutely brilliant for his confidence, for everything to do with the club. You know, we spent 100 million on him, we've got to start playing him, and that's exactly what Valverde is doing. In backup, we've got Malcolm, we've got Munir, and that's all the real attacking backup, I'm not going to lie, that we've got in that area. But we will indeed also have is the likes of Rafinha, who can play on the wing easily. Denis Suarez can also play on the wing very, very easily. So it's not an issue. We've got an overload of midfielders, and they can also be used into the attack. Very similar players to Isco and Asensio at Real Madrid, who can also play in midfield, but very easily play on the wings in the attack too. That's the same situation here that we've got with Rafinha and also Denis Suarez, and they would easily help accompany Malcolm or Munir if we needed to in a cup match. But again, that attack is brilliant. Messi's looking insane this season once more. That 8-2 when he hits Huesca was stunning from the attack, in my opinion. It's working really nicely. I'm so happy to see Dembele starting. If Suarez starts scoring again, we're going to be in the money. And we've got really good backup in the likes of Malcolm there too, who I think is a brilliant snatch from Roma, by the way. So guys, that is the squad done. I just reviewed it. I feel as if we got a good squad for this season. Messi's recently said in an interview it's a squad to win the Champions League, and I would agree. We've got a really good side this season. And now we're going to be moving on to the competitions we're in this season, the expectations, and we're going to be starting off with pre-season basically, guys. Pre-season went really well for us, I feel. We had a lot of players away international duty, but the way we played in pre-season was really good from the little snippets I've seen. Of course, they were played really late in the evening, so a lot of the Barca fans won't be really able to watch them. Played like 5 AM, 4 AM, but from what we've seen, when the first team started, the likes of Rafinha, Malcolm, Arthur Melo, Munir, they all played really, really well. But it's just when the B team players came in and they were playing against the likes of Florenzi, De Rossi for the likes of Roma, and other players such as Lucas Moura for Tottenham, that is when we basically started to struggle, guys, because the B team players just couldn't quite keep up. It was a good experience for them. You know, the likes of Miranda, Cucurella got a really good experience in the first team, and also Ricky Puig really got invented into the team in pre-season. People really like the look of him, but it was really good pre-season, I feel. We got to use a lot of our other players, and that was basically a chance for the likes of Munir, for the likes of Rafinha, Arthur Melo, Malcolm to prove themselves, and I feel as if that is why they've been kept at the club this season. So I'm really happy with how pre-season went. Moving on to the Supercopa de España, which was the next competition we were involved in. We went 1-0 down very early on in that, in what was an interesting lineup for us actually. A few players were in and there. We started with the likes of Longley, we started with Semedo, we started Arthur Melo, Rafinha, so different sorts of players in there. I think Dembele did actually end up starting, but Coutinho was left on the bench, Rakitic was left on the bench, Sergi Roberto wasn't involved, and Titi wasn't involved, so these sorts of players weren't playing for us, but we actually ended up doing really well. We came away 2-1 victors. Piqué got an equaliser in the 42nd minute, and Dembele with an absolutely insane goal, and celebration, mind you, in that game. So we won that one 2-1, that was a good start. We got the trophy in the bag. We had a very, very makeshift squad, I feel, that day, and Sevilla looked really up for it, so I'm really happy that we were able to get away and get the 2-1 win there, just about. So that was our trophy number 1 in the bag. Moving on to La Liga this season, I feel as if we're going to have really stiff competition from Real Madrid this season. We've both won our opening 3 games. I feel as if under Lopetegui they're going to be playing better football than ever, but whether they're going to be getting the results is another matter. They haven't found a replacement for Ronaldo, but they're using Benzema and Bale to cover for that really well at the moment. But as already proved in the UEFA Super Cup, in the big games, I'm not sure if they can step up to that billing. Of course, it's all looking good when they're playing against Leganés and Girona, but I'm not sure how they're going to be able to act in the big games, Champions League finals, etc. That's, I think, when they're going to start missing Cristiano Ronaldo. But in La Liga, I feel as if we've got to be really careful. I think as if we've got to win almost every game if we're going to be winning it. 30 games plus, I think we've got to be winning here. And we've only going to have space for just a couple of draws and maybe 1 or 2 losses in there if we are going to be able to win La Liga this year. Real Madrid are going to be doing the same. They're going to be thinking the same. They know they can't drop points. We know we can't drop points. And Valencia and Atletico should be up there with us too. They've had poor starts to the season, but honestly, they should pick up the pace later on, and if not, that'll be really good for us because we'll have just free reign basically at the top of La Liga. But it's going well so far for both Real and Barca. I just hope we can get away from them in the last stages of the season. Moving on now to the Copa del Rey, a competition we are 4 times winners of in succession. We won it 2015, 2016, 2017 and 2018, and hopefully we're going to make it 2019. We always seem to win this. If we won it 5 in a row, that would just be insane basically, guys. So yeah, honestly, that would be incredible. Citizen usually plays on this, shouldn't be an issue. Apart from that, in the early rounds, we'll be using the youth players. Alenya will get their chance. Malcolm, hopefully, will get his chance in there too. The likes of Munir, Rafinha, the people I've been talking about earlier, Dennis Suarez, Arthur Melo. These are the sorts of players that we need to be using in this. And also some of the B team players, Miranda, Ricky Puy, hopefully they can get a spot in there. Maybe even some players who aren't even integrated into the full squad. Abel Ruiz, you know, these sorts of players who are already in the B team, playing in the 3rd division of Spanish football right now. So in the early rounds, they'll certainly play. As we move on to the round of 16 quarterfinals, we'll start to bring in a few other players like Suarez, Dembele, Coutinho. And then when it gets to semi-finals, I feel as if they're like some Messi, Rakitic, Busquets, those sort of players will be coming into the fold of things, and they'll be basically starting for us in those deeper rounds so that we do end up wrapping up. And in the final, it's usually just the full 11 with basically just Citizen in goal. That's like the only change from the normal team. So that's usually what happens in the Copa del Rey. I'm just hoping we can do it again this year. For some reason, Real Madrid always seem to get knocked out in this from really, really weird circumstances. Last year I saw them draw Leganés and I thought, well, this year maybe not. But they just go out to them. I don't know how, I don't know what happens, but they just slip out of the competitions randomly, Real Madrid. And honestly, I feel as if we need to capitalise on that again this season if it does happen. And I'm just praying it does, because I think under Lopetegui they could actually take it a little more seriously than they did under Zinedine Zidane. And now finally, the Champions League, the competition I'm most nervous for, most excited about this season. I feel as if, as Messi said, we've got the squad to do it. It's this season more than ever, I feel. We've got an incredible squad to go ahead and win the Champions League this year. However, the group we have been drawn is one of the biggest groups of death I've ever seen, and that's coming from a guy who's also a Chelsea fan, who saw the Roma and Atletico group that we got drawn in last year, which wasn't good at all, and I don't know how we got through it, but we got through it somehow, and I'm just hoping Barcelona do the same, guys. I really am. We need something massive here, absolutely massive. We got Tottenham, PSV, and Inter Milan. It is just like unbelievable. I cannot believe it. But Tottenham, right, let's see if we can win at our place, maybe draw or even lose at theirs. PSV, we need to win at ours and theirs, else we're not going to be getting out of the group. I think that's simple enough. If we don't beat PSV even both times, then we're not going to get out of the group unless something miraculous happens against the other 2 top sides. And then talking about the games against Inter Milan, they're going to be tricky again. Maybe a draw at their place and a win at our place, that should be enough. But if we can get 4 wins, they always say that's enough to get through. So that's what we got to try and do, guys. We got to try and get 2 wins against PSV, 1 against Tottenham, 1 against Inter. We should be able to do that, guys, with Barcelona. And if we play the way we did against Huesca with that attacking football, with the likes of Messi, Dembele, Suarez, Coutinho, Rakitic, you know, those are the sort of players that need to win us these big games. And we need to use our depth too if we need to be with Malcolm, Lautaro, Vidal, those sorts of players. They need to help us out when it matters most. And yeah, I feel as if that does happen, we can go on and win the Champions League this season. I honestly do. If we get through that group, I believe anything's possible. We've got a good chance that we win that group. I honestly do feel that. So yeah, Champions League this season, really exciting stuff because we've got an incredibly tough group. And if we make it out top of that with some solid results, I'll be extremely happy. So that's where this season preview is going to actually come to an end, guys. Drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it. It's basically reviewing the squad, previewing the squad even in pre-season, all the competitions we're in this season, what we can expect from Barcelona this season. And honestly, I think it's going to be good stuff. I really do. I think we could be winning La Liga and the Copa del Rey again. Not sure about the Champions League with that group, but let's see if we can win the treble this season. That'll be brilliant. We've already won the Supercopa de España, which was a nice start. We're playing some good football at the moment. And yeah, let's keep it going, Barca. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, as I said. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. But for now, peace.